I've already done a couple videos with this Morso wood stove, but I've been getting a few questions about it that I had not covered in the last videos. And there's some good questions, and I kind of want to go over it and go over my install as well. And I got my parents' dog here as well as mine, so dealing with that too. All right. So one of the things that I've been asked about is attaching this handle. Now, when I got this thing, I had thought that they sent me there was missing parts. So I'm going to take this off and show you guys what I did, because I didn't have the capability to attach the handle with the hardware that came with the stove. It's really weird. So I had mentioned to a couple people that I would take this off in a video and show what I ended up doing here. So here's the screw. Now this comes off. So normally, a couple of people told me that this isn't supposed to screw on here, which is weird to me. They said that their stove dealer told them that they're supposed to put the handle on here and take it like that. I don't see like what kind of sense that would make, but for me, I had to end up going and getting I got a stainless, it's a 4mm head here, and I actually had to cut this shorter in order for it to go in here and also not be too long, because it wouldn't hold the handle. The handle would float, and I wanted the handle to sit in there tightly. So that was the solution for me, was to get this metric M4 Allen bolt, and it's a stainless one. And like I said, I cut the end of it off, and then I kind of filed it smooth so it would go in the threads nicely. And I have never had a problem with this. This does get hot when the stove is really cooking, so I still use a mitt, but it's never melted or caused any issue there. So I'm going to put that back on now. You can see it fits a little tight in there. And this screw is kind of countersunk in the bottom of this handle here too. So I can put that back in. But yeah, that's what I ended up doing. One of the things with this stove that annoys me, and it's probably because my gasket is, the gasket needs to be replaced, is this squeak here. And it seems like no matter what I do, if I lubricate here or if I lubricate in the door here, I still, after 2 or 3 burns, we get that squeak back again. And that's just one of those things. There's only a roll pin here holding this, and it's got some play in it, so I'm sure it builds up with some sort of ash or soot or something, and that's what causes it. But it seems like as soon as you put a little bit of lubrication inside the roll pin on this door right here, that all that noise goes away. Now, I'm not making these videos telling you what you should be doing or giving you recommendations to do any of this stuff. This is just what I do, what I have done, what has worked for me. I've had this stove for about 4 years, and I've always done these same things, and everything has worked well. I don't know if you can see in here or not. There is a crack in this back fire brick, so eventually I'll order a new one from Morso, but I haven't had the need to yet. It's been cracked like that for, I think, 2 seasons now. So what I'm going to do is, right, wrong, or otherwise, I use glass cleaner on the glass. And right now, even if I just wipe this clean, it's pretty clean, but I like it to be clear clean. So I'm going to spray this down, and I'm just using original Windex. You can see how easy this cleans. Burning seasoned wood does help a lot, and if we're burning hot, this glass it stays clean. So you know, that helps that. But as you're burning slower and like the overnight burns and stuff like that, I'll usually have a little bit of crud or something on the door in the morning. But you can see this was pretty easy to clean up, and now it's like crystal clear. And since I'm here and we saw what this does, as soon as I put a little bit in this hole where the roll pin is, I don't want to do too much. Okay. Then I'm going to work this, slide it back and forth. Then I'm going to put a tiny bit here on this roll pin as well. Just kind of rub that in. And now close the door. No sound. Oh, there's a little bit there yet. So I'll do that a few times, and now you can see there's no. I'm gonna run outside and make some kindling quick and start a fire in this thing, and then I'll explain a few more things as that fire is starting. I'm gonna make a few pieces of kindling, and I'm gonna use this double bit axe that my friend Matt made for the first time. I can't get it to sink into this because this is pretty hard and iced up. So I'm gonna just end up grabbing a few pieces of firewood here, and I'll split them on top of that. All right, I got some kindling made. Worked out pretty nice. It would be nice if this was taller. That's all I got to work with right now, and it's like solid as a rock. I do have the regular kindling cracker here too on this stump. So if the kindling cracker wasn't bolted onto there, then I could have used that. That would have been a much better working height. But now I got my kindling, so I'm gonna go make a fire. I try to stagger things so that there's a lot of airflow, and I've started by doing bigger stuff on the bottom, and then put the kindling just wherever. I'll try to break up, make a bunch of small stuff. See how I can get it best in here. This is not. And like this, I can kind of peel apart, break it some more. Just keep doing that. Maybe you don't have to get that excessive with it, but I like to. That was a little too big yet. So like I said, I'm not sitting here telling you this is how you got to do things. I'm just showing what works for me and my routine usually when I start a fire here. And I like to just kind of have a mess like that, and then I'll put this in. I'll kind of set it right in the middle of it. Then I usually take my broom from the firewood tools, fireplace tools, kind of clean this out a little bit. And then I will close the door, but not all the way. I'll leave it cracked just a little bit. And I make sure that the fresh air is open. Sweep off the hearth quick. What kind of chimney is this inside? This is a double wall chimney on the inside of the house, but it's not insulated, so it still gives off a fair amount of heat, but there's an extra element of safety being double wall. And then once we get up here, this is double wall and insulated. This is the heavy stuff. This is the same pipe that's going up the side of the house. And then this is just a trim ring, but there's a big thimble in the wall here that's insulated as well to keep the heat from the chimney from doing any damage to the wall itself. Up here, I have a fan from Menards local home improvement store, and I modified it. It was supposed to be an oscillating fan that would go like this, but that didn't do me any good, and it hung down too long. So basically I removed the oscillating part of it, and I shortened the stem on it so that it would clear the chimney. And at first I had it blowing the air this way, and you'd think that would make sense, but actually pulling it this way might be better because it's going to pull cool air past the stove. Then on top of the stove I have a cast iron pot that has water in it for humidity, And then we have that heat powered fan that'll probably start moving in about 5 minutes. I've got a trivet here, and I can put pans on that, keep those warm. Or if we get like foil tray with leftovers in it, you can warm them up that way. It's kind of cool. On the back side, this is old barn tin, and it's actually spaced from the wall about that far. And behind this is cement board. But you can see up here, there's a slight gap. And there's a slight gap at the bottom too. So they can breathe, air can go up and through them. And then on the back side here, you can see the fresh air intake. Now, Morso has a cold air or fresh air kit, they call it. And here is the circular part that would pop off if the chimney was going to come out the back of the wood stove, which would be cool, but I can't really do that in the corner. But anyway, this is the Morso part. And actually, I think it's just this part. And then this was an adapter I got. And then this is some foil air ducting. And that goes to the outside of the house using like it's basically a dryer vent, but it has kind of like a plastic mesh in it to keep rodents out. And then that's got some high heat silicone around it so that we have no air loss there. One of the other things I wanted was a thermometer for the chimney. This actually goes into the chimney, into the center of it. It's not just a magnetic one. And you can see there's some high heat silicone holding it in place here. Normally there's just a magnet on the back side of this that will hold into here, but this is double wall instead of single. And I think these are meant to be on the single wall. Outside of the house, looking at the intake and then the chimney. So like I said, this is just a regular, basically like a dryer vent. It is metal behind this. This fascia part is plastic, but it has like some stuff there, so you know rodents can't get in. And the chimney out here doesn't look the best, but the exterior of the house is going to get redone, so safety was the most important thing. And we have our clearances the way that they need to be from the house. And like I said, this is double wall stainless insulated, and so there's no the siding can't get damaged. And then on the bottom here, there's a clean out. So when I do the chimney cleaning, I will take this out and I can run the chimney brush all the way up to the top. This is starting pretty nicely, so I'm going to close this and let the rest of it get going on its own. So it actually, that's cool. The fan has just started to turn right when I was about to start talking. So I'll leave that part in here because it's kind of cool. So the fire's been going for about 10 minutes now, and I think it started halfway decent. It's burning clean anyway. And overall, I'm really happy with this wood stove. I'm glad we did it. We weren't really sure how well it was going to work out, how much we were going to use it. But in the winter, we use it every day. And it really helps offset the natural gas. I think natural gas is cheaper and less effort, but the heat that you get from this and the ambiance too, like, it's just awesome. Plus I like making firewood, and yeah, we've been really happy with this wood stove. And I think the biggest hassle of it was the chimney and making sure that you do it correctly and to code, because after we did the install, this all had to get inspected by our insurance company. Otherwise we could run the risk of losing coverage, or if something happened, we wouldn't be covered. So I made sure that we did everything to code and that we got inspected and cleared with the insurance company. They took pictures, put it in their file. So everything is good that way. And I think if anything, I'd want something that's slightly bigger, but the problem is I'm already out far enough from the corner here, and I can't really put anything bigger here. We're in the corner of the house, and the basically dining room, kitchen, living room, they all stay really warm. If we put a bigger fireplace here, it would just get hotter and hotter in this room because I don't have a way to transfer the air through the whole house. The cold air return is on the opposite end of this room, and it's just not, it's not feasible for us to run a different cold air return to around by the wood stove, which is what I would ideally like to do, and I think that would help circulate in the house better. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that this answers a few more questions. If you're looking at one of these Morso wood stoves and like the thing with the handle or the fresh air kit, I think that's good stuff to see on camera. And you know, same with the chimney. And if there's any other questions, just let me know in the comments. I'm happy to help. I'm not an expert by any means on any of this stuff. I just like to share what works for me. So thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.